in my book, is a complete oper. He's very versatile. He's good on the aggro, good on the passive play. He knows how to be a supportive oper on the T side, but he knows how to be an initiative taker on the CT side as well. So you are getting a lot of experience when it comes down to this. So I feel like MIBR is one of these teams that heading into this entire qualifier, they're not going to be satisfied with just playing good Counter-Strike. They need to win. They need to make it into the main event. This is what they're here for. This is what they're going to be having their sights set on.
All right, let's get things going, everybody. Brought to you by Stake is this event. So thank you very much for your support, Stake, making this all possible as we get into the action. MIBR versus Fluxo. It's Nuke to get things going with, as it looks like Fluxo are going straight in for an A hit.
Yeah, a bit of utility being invested into. Zevi lining up that top HUD molly. You've got the triple flash as well. So as you pointed out, looking like an A-pop, but you still have two players that are going to be trying to make their way in towards Mini. Molly actually goes towards the back of side. Oh, they're wrapping Heaven.
Yeah, pause on the flip. Already seeing a bit of switch up coming in from the calls from exit. QZ, nice. Bullet to the head of Kai, and Davideus stands up tall. Double kill, double dink, and all of a sudden alarm bells ringing for MIBR.
That's so weird. That's such a cool pistol round out of the T side, by the way. You deploy that molly towards the back of the bomb side, flashes come through, and you start hearing the steps towards outside. If you're on the CT side, you start thinking, well, this is just going to be an A wrap, right? So there's going to be a couple nervous rotations, but it turned out to be a ramp split through outside from the lobby as well. NQZ did find his double kill in towards the ramp, but unfortunately the A bomb side compromised.
And it's NQZ that indeed has just been compromised. Davideus continuing on that streak, a triple kill, very sharp from the very get-go, highlighting exactly what you were saying on the desk.
Yeah, I feel like we gotta give him a little bit of time, right? Let him get that money for the AWP, but it's going to be exciting to see how creative Fluxo are gonna be, right? Obviously, Art was on this team for a while, and back then I feel like it was very normal for people to anticipate that fast-paced type of Counter-Strike. It is interesting because Exit likes to call very dynamic games as well, and he's got the pieces for it. Of course, by coming out of the CT side, a bunch of SMGs, some upgraded pistols as well. Decent amount of util.
Outside of ramp already to trophy, looking to wrap around the Fluxo side of things, and it's not anticipated. Surprise by venomzera and Insanity. And it's done quite a bit of damage. Thing is, you're wide out into the open and two players shooting right back at you. Not gonna work in favor.
They're low.
So NQZ now left on the hot seat on a 1v2.
Very low on HP. Zevi 28. Kai on 45. Only issue is NQZ's got that Digo, right? He would have loved an SMG in this circumstances. But they're separated as well, not staying close to one another. NQZ needs one bullet to get that kill onto Zevi. That's going to drop the bomb as well. Zevi needs to reunite with Kai as quickly as possible. That's exactly what they've done, but they are heading in towards the ramp.
So there is the element of trying to find them individually, but there's also the element of letting them walk into you. And NQZ has done exactly that. One bullet was needed, but he might as well find the headshot. Oh boy, that got close, but couldn't connect the second shot onto Kai, meaning Fluxo continue the 2-0.
Yeah, that's one of these moments where if you're NQZ, you're just hoping not to get the headshot or waste the headshot onto the low HP player, right? He's probably kicking and screaming right now. He knows how close he was, literally one bullet away. Shout out Lorgar as well. Go and check out the platform, www.lorgar.com. I don't know why I struggled so much with the triple
PCs,
W.
by the way. Yeah, fair. It's not an.
Oh, the PCs are sick.
Why. Imagine if it was used as double V. Technically, that's what it actually looks like.
So that's going to be a triple double V.
Let's not confuse people here. Just head on over to the banner below for Lorgar, everybody. Either way, onto the action once again, and it's another force buy coming out from MIBR. Not too surprising given the success they found on the previous.
Yeah, it's a good old Fango out of Burns and towards the ramp. The only issue with this is that more often than not, you're just going to be good for one, right? So you need a second player. That's why Insani's around. Molly goes towards the box. I'm not sure if that was designed to actually fall on top of the box. I think it might have been a failed Molly, but Burnson is going to take a little bit.
Hey, I'll tell you what, he's gotten way more than I expected. Double kill is massive. but loses his teammate in the process, which keeps things level. And NQZ coming into the fight, flank created, surprised, is Fluxo. You've only got LTZ now to rely on.
Good game plan being shown already. They were so ready for what was going on. In the last round, by the way, they did run a force buy, but they were still able to catch the T's off guard with the lobby push, with the wrap no one was holding. They were able to come out on top, but it was a very tight situation. This time around, they have the double ramp set up. Burnson going above and beyond with the double kill, and then the push comes in, reacting to the contact. Very clean, very well orchestrated Counter-Strike coming out of MIBR. And that comes back to the previous point. They might have lost the force buy, but they did get 4 kills. So the money on the T side is very low. MIBR able to make their way onto the board. It is going to be interesting going into how that CT side develops for MIBR, right? Because Inferno, if you look at the initial stats, you might think, oh, it's a bit of a leveled up match. MIBR have a lot more experience playing Inferno internationally than Fluxo do, right? So if you're Fluxo, you're kind of putting a lot of eggs into the basket of Nuke working out for you. It's usually a very good map for them. I know they lost it to Isurus the last instance they played it, but you're looking at a lot of the other games that they've played in South America, and it's one of the maps on which they're very dominant. But again, it's against opposition of lower echelon, if I might say so, right? Teams like Keystars, like Pain Academy, like Bounty Hunters. You've got that occasional win against Imperial, but that was a 19-15 as well. So it's all about the pedigree of opponents, right? This iteration of Fluxo is not really used to playing against MIBR as much. Thus, those two teams not having any head-to-heads from the months leading up to this game.
It's a fair point to make. Not that they haven't done too well regionally, right? Getting some important wins. It's Imperial, Pain, obviously Pain's Academy.
I mean, they did win an event, right? So it's very difficult to, and very recently. So it's very difficult to say that Fluxo have not been playing good Counter-Strike and they've not been doing well. And they beat Imperial twice at that event. But it's just the fact that you don't really have a lot of the top dogs of South America. And they were able to get some nice VRS points, but I think we're past that point where we're looking at Imperial was the gatekeepers of South American Counter-Strike. They're still a very dangerous team, and we're going to have that conversation later on today. But now you've got other teams like MIBR. You've got Pain, obviously. You've got other South American teams like 9Z, BESTIA even. A lot of these teams are the ones to beat nowadays. We're not even having the Furia discussion, obviously.
No. So, look, MIBR on the other hand, having the opportunity to play against international squads, European teams, and that lot. Yeah, it's some good practice, but it's not the density of games either for them, right? Sure, you've got yourselves a few events under your belts in the last 3 months, but it's the length of the tournament that you're kind of looking forward to sort of struggle with here if you're MIBR, right? Not being able to get some victories, especially being knocked out by Bait as well in IM Cologne, and you know, losing out against local rivals 9Z and the XSC Pro League in Guangzhou. You're not really making it deep into the tournaments, and I think that's the biggest struggle for MIBR right now.
Yeah, we've had these occasional very good results for them, right? So you can clearly see the potential. And one of the main questions towards this team at the start of the season was why not keep Klim if you could, right? But then they go out and announce NQZ, and I don't think anyone was mad with that type of a move.
No.
Now, obviously, it's a little bit weird because you've got 4 Brazilian players and a Swedish IGO and a Serbian head coach, right? So it looks like one of these VRS Frankenstein monsters that they're running right now over at MIBR. But I'm actually liking this entire arc for LNZ. I feel like it's an exciting challenge for someone like him, considering he's only 23 years of age. He's got a pretty decent amount of experience as an in-game leader. Obviously, he was the IGL of NIP back in Stockholm in 2021 when they made the quarterfinals of the PGL Major. Ended up playing another one with Heroic in Austin, and now this one with MIBR. So you've got one of the bigger European IGL talents out of the next generation at the helm, alongside another European coach. So I feel like for a lot of people, including myself, the main question for this MIBR team was, will a European IGO and a European coach be able to unlock guys like Insani a lot more, like venomzera, now like NQZ, right? This is the exciting part of it. Are they going to be able to keep that element of craziness, but also throw in a little bit of structure in there?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Something to observe. And folks, there's no denying currently waiting for some issue to resolve as we get back onto the server as soon as possible. And as soon as we do have information for you, we will be passing it on to you, fine people. Apparently there is a player experiencing some sort of technical issue, and that's exactly what we're waiting on. But it shouldn't take too long at all. Now, Ted, I think we can take a step back a little bit and talk about the teams overall in the tournament, right, as well, not just the two squads ahead of us. 8 teams overall battling for one single spot coming out from South America Closed Qualifier. Obviously, there could be a VRS-appointed team that could get here. But in terms of the qualifier at hand, some pretty strong teams.
Yeah, outside of MIBR and Fluxo, which are obviously the number 1 and the number 3 seeds, so that itself makes it a bit of a weird matchup to start things off, doesn't it? A bit of a derby. Yeah. We do have Imperial and BESTIA that have a lot to prove. I think especially for Imperial, now that they've gotten Sads in from Legacy, you are hoping to see a bit of a positive change when it comes down to this team, because they still have talents like Decenty, like No Way, and obviously you've got Vinny and Cello, always. Cello's immortal. His career never ends. He's always going to be here.
Legends never die.
Oh, he's going to be... at this point, I'm pretty convinced he's playing Counter-Strike up until maybe 2040, 2045.
Closer to actual retirement years. The hell
is always here.
Esports retirement. Well, onto the action. Again, MIBR making things very close in the first couple of rounds, then winning a round have made the economical situation for Fluxo very tough. Therefore, Tech 9 Falls is at play. Smoke outside. The Drupal actually after its punishment, but venomzera holding his line has done a brilliant job at keeping Fluxo back. Not much remaining in this one, especially with Kai being plucked out, meaning LTZ is all that remains. Not much longer after that.
Looking very clean out of venomzera. It wasn't a bad call out of the T side per se, right? You had the initial diagonal smokes, then you smoke default by hand. You try and make it look like it's going to be a secret push, but then the wrap comes in and you're looking for the contact from HUD, but both players just get absolutely annihilated by venomzera. It's not only about winning the rounds, it's about the fact that they're looking very clean right now from MIBR. They obviously lost the pistol. Forestbike got 4 kills, and after that, it started looking very comfortable on the CT side. Not losing a single member. Money's going to start racking up as well. You've got venomzera working with over 5k already. No AWP in the hands of NQZ yet. Doesn't really need it considering he's just going to be up against the Glocks, but that's another great opportunity to keep piling up the cash. And it's one of these very interesting conversations about venomzera. Obviously taking a look at the stake odds, and you've got a weekly reload of $35 over a stake, but MIBR is the favorite. venomzera is a very interesting player because he's one of these pure aimers, right? And you almost wonder the moment that, you know, he gains a little bit more experience and plays on this level for a little bit longer, how overpowered can he actually be on the server? Because he's that type of player that you just want to put on a bomb site. That's why he's anchoring, right? You just want to put him on a bomb site and you're going to trust that he's going to click heads.
That is insane work. I mean, obviously you're against the pistols, but no real assistance needed. He stuck around in that corner for way too long. No damage other than that, apart from damage inflicted onto him, and onto the next.
We're not going to get an AWP upgrade out of NQZ straight away, so it's interesting to see if they want to run something a little bit more aggressive for that first gun v gun round on the CT side, right? Maybe get up close and personal towards outside, maybe run another lobby crunch. That was working for the first couple of rounds to catch the T's off guard. We've got that possibility of having NQZ even more mobile now, getting up close and personal.
But then again, MIBR have conditioned Fluxo a little bit. Microaggressions, the little flanks they've created are very quick into the round.
It's a good bait. He knows there's nothing going on outside, so they're ready for the lobby crunch. Ready for the pop out of the A-bomb side, and LNZ once again standing tall. It's a triple kill out of the IGL. They just cannot get past them.
Fully prepared. And now with Exit and Zevi, in their palms, thinking how on earth get this one across the line. Probably the answer is you don't. MIBR reading the situation to perfection. You've even got NQZ to lock it all down.
Hello.
Surprise. And even though venomzera and NQZ are fairly low, it feels very improbable that Zevi will have good timing on any of them.
Knife out. Ill advised. Yeah, this is not looking good for the Fluxo side of things. This is back-to-back rounds without a single kill from the T side, and that was such a great defense out of LNZ, by the way. He doesn't take a single point of damage and gets a triple kill. This is mental. They just walk into his den and he destroys them. And that's another time, is the second buy round that they've tried to draw some attention out towards outside and then hit the A-bomb side. Both times MIBR are just so ready. This time they even had NQZ into her secret, so he knew no one was crossing down. It was quite easy for venomzera and LNZ to just stay locked in towards that A-bomb side. IGL looking very sharp individually. Maybe that's going to be the effect, right? Maybe he spent some time in South America and instead of the others getting the fundamentals and the structural thinking of how proper Counter-Strike should be played, LNZ just starts shooting more. They give him that Brazilian aim routine.
Yeah, I don't think he minds that. For the next one, Fluxo brought out a little timeout to think about how they're going to be approaching the next couple of rounds.
Ooh.
But they may want to exploit this first pick that they received. Kai, though, instantly falls to his bravers and Sandy's there to mow him down. Brenza needs to be very careful here, but instead gets his head ripped off his shoulders. This can get problematic if you're not careful. A 3v3, a rifle collected, and Fluxo, ice set on B.
Yeah, quick rotation out of Insani, though. He's already in towards control room.
He's let them past. And now could have a decent position to take the fight on with the rest of the squad trying to rally around, catching Exit by surprise. Huge first pick. And now the assistance coming up from ramp. Uncertain of where the last two players are. That's why there's so much navigation going on in ramp right now, and it's buying time for the T's. Let that bomb get closer and closer to its explosion. Nice things coming out from Davidales. Closes out on a body shot on Insani. Now you need to figure out where Zevi lies. Hiding out one corner, surely you may realize by the process of elimination where you should be looking, but they left Zevi unchecked. Misses a shot, however, and with that, MIBR take advantage.
Oh, no. That's such a desk slammer if you're Zevi. He wanted to line it up. If he gets the first kill, time is running out as well. That should have been a free round. He could have even ignored that second player and just gone for the diffuser. But if you get that kill, you've won the round. It's just one shot you need to connect to, but he's unable to do so, and they were that close to stealing this round away. A quick reminder for that 80k gear giveaway, you can click the banner below the stream. That's a little bit painful. These are not the types of plays that fill you up with confidence. Not early on.
And sure, you had a pistol round in your hand. Sure, you weren't expected to do all that much, but you want to be taking the chances that are presented to you. And that definitely felt like a great big opportunity to get right back on track. MIBR, however, strong as ever, building their economy on the CT side. I'm looking at venomzera and Insani's bank accounts, and they're already over 5 digits. So this is looking quite the difficult of situations with Fluxo. Navigating outside the two players.
They've killed their timing with the mollies towards the back of the smokes, and now NQZ shut down one, make it a double. They didn't even spot LNZ. He wasn't needed into our secret. They had such a master plan going on with the double re-aggression and now LNZ coming in. That was actually just the spam. Was that Insani? I think that was Insani spamming through the smoke, through the garage door and tagging people in T-spawn. They should call this one off. That should be a straight up save for the 3 remaining Ts.
Oh god, disheartening. Thank you, Z, getting it all done by himself. Spots out a couple of players cross the smoke. Fluxo delayed in their approach. I saw the minicam impression from NQZ as he got the first couple of kills. I don't think he believed what happened.
I mean, it feels very easy to win a round like this if you're MIBR, right? They smoke outside, you molly behind the smokes, LNZ's go in secret, NQZ just sits there and waits in towards Garage, and 2 people just walk into him on shift. It's the 2 easiest kills that you can get as an Ober. And then the round is done. Didn't give them anything. Money keeps piling up, and Sani's almost at 16k. venomzera's already there. Thank God they need utility. Otherwise, they'd be literally wasting money. These rounds are not even close, Pavlos. This is very one-sided. They've gotten 15 kills over the course of 8 rounds as a team, Fluxo. And the majority of them were at the start.
It's hard to see them getting the ball rolling, but they better get it rolling sooner rather than later. It's no surprise this is a difficult series for them. MIBR making this one look simple. 3 rifles available, 2 pistols, Deagle and the Tech 9. Davidales and LTZ respectively, and across the secret commences.
Yeah, it's not a fake this time around, but LNZ's already down there. Issue is he doesn't really have any utility, so he's gonna try and get 1 kill, back off, stay alive, wait for help.
There's deep ramp control, so B-side players can come in very quickly. Early warning system by ways of the molly. And Z respects the approach and realizes there's a better chance in winning this round with teammates around, but he's got a difficult angle to work with. Could get overwhelmed, especially if he gets caught spraying down. Quick trade up. And now once stuck on site, Burnson needs to figure out where he needs to be looking for exit, trying to play the timing game, breaks out the door and gets the 1v1. Huge steps taken here for Fluxo, but still need to get across through. NQZ with the orb, he's got Insani there for assistance. This is a good 1-2 play from MIBR. Another bomb's dropped.
Time.
Exit knows he needs to play aggressively here, but has to also focus on getting the bomb down. venomzera in the process gets onto the back lines and makes this ever so treacherous for Fluxo to take over.
They're just not giving them any space, right? The rotations are very good, and it doesn't really feel like MIBR are being troubled by, I guess, just following where the T's are going. And you can see it straight away. The outside smokes come through. There's nothing going on in towards the lobby, in towards the round. They've done that a couple of times with the fakes, so now you kind of believe that they would go with the full-on commit. Then the utility fades away. Bomb gets dropped in a very uncomfortable position, so they're just not ready for all of these different angles of re-aggression, and now they're deciding to pick up the pace.
You could be more equipped if you're venomzera.
Oh, God.
Lovely double kill, straight into your crosshairs. This was supposed to be a power-up for Fluxo, and it's instantly deleted. What is going on?
That's destruction. It's not even funny anymore, by the way. They're getting completely gobsmacked.
That's one way to put it. And if you ask anyone, what does getting gobsmacked look like? Well, we're looking at it right now.
Yeah, crushed. Smashed. Dominated.
No, I do like gobsmacked a lot more.
Yeah, yeah. It's a funny word.
Gobsmacked. Goopity flooped.
Sure. That's not that was very animated.
Like, have it used for a cartoon character? I don't know.
Yeah.
Some ideas, throwing them out on the wall.
Oh, you've got your way around with the goofy expression.
Oh, this is a goofy game.
Or the Scooby-Doo one.
maybe not now. Maybe for another opportunity. I don't know.
Yeah. Scooby's wondering where Shaggy is. Fluxo are wondering where their chances of winning their own map pick have gone.
Yikes. But true. Look, MIBR have made this very, very difficult for Fluxo, right? Very suffocating from the very beginning. We were talking about how they were pushing various angles from the very start, right? Getting on the back lines, making it very uncomfortable to push through, and making it also very difficult even on the front lines itself, right? And whenever we saw venomzera be challenged in a 1v2, whenever we saw NQZ being challenged in a similar-ish scenario. I mean, every single one of the MIBR players have had a great time in their roles.
Yeah, just look at the kill distribution. Insani and venomzera 9 kills. LNZ's on 8 frags. NQZ's already hit double digits. They're all winning their fights. I mean, look at the stake odds. Obviously, this is for the map, but it's still terrifying. And this is with Fluxo winning the BESTIA round and the anti-force. That was a 2-0 lead for Fluxo. And now you've lost 8 in a row. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but you need a little bit more. I know it's Nuke and it's CT-sided, as CT-sided as it goes, but you might need a little bit more. At least 4 rounds. Leave yourselves an opportunity. You win the second half pistol. You get the momentum going. You can make a game out of this. But if they just get 10 in a row, this is surely not an ideal way to kick things off. And now we're going back to that conversation about the double elimination bracket. At least you're not going to be thinking, oh, we're out of the qualifier already. And it's a bit wild that we're having that conversation 10 rounds in on the first map, but this is how one-sided it's been in favor of MIBR. It just looks like a complete mismatch.
Look, if Fluxo somehow are able to flip the switch, you've got a couple of rounds left. 8-4, not too dire considering this is Nuke, right? You could get things rolling on the CT side, but that's not the game we've been seeing. You'd have to be switching off to a different universe. Let's see if Fluxo will be able to find the Rune Gate, the wormhole.
Oh, they're already in a wormhole.
LTZ's head definitely has been gotten up by black hole. LNC keeping it competitive. Zevi struck long enough for Insani to join in on the fray, and Branzin also having a perfect time of his own as well. Davidale's deagle in hand. All of his teammates' bodies before him are deployed. Is it a gruesome sight to see? Not even a tag. Finally landing something on NQZ. Was that a D? Now doing 96 damage on one shot. But eventually gets sprayed down.
Just look at the smile on his face. venomzera's having such a fun time right now. They're all having such a fun time right now. And interestingly enough, we've got 2 very similar nicknames on the server right now, Pavlos, right? We've got LNZ and we've got LTZ. Remove the L and the Z at the start and at the end, and you're left with NT. That's exactly what this has been for Fluxo picking into Nuke. Might have to really go next. It's looking a little bit scrappy. Fluxo trying to cross the smokes were fading away, making themselves very easy targets. I wonder if that was something that they wanted to do on purpose. Just surprise them and peek on the fade of the smoke, but definitely didn't work out. Final round of the half,
and to another, right?
Yeah, you're already looking pretty dire on your own map pick.
First one to cross over. There's assistance available. Now, Kai's been able to slip down past the vents. But MIBR have put full of focus on the upper side of the map. Now, a bomb plant in B and a 5v5 scenario looks like a very real possibility.
Yeah, that's the first time they've been able to actually do something around the map without MIBR realizing 100% what's going on, right? They're still anticipating somewhat of an attempt of a crossing towards Mini. I think soon enough, maybe the ramp player, that's going to be NQZ with the AWP, is going to try and rejoin down with his teammates. Thing is, there's still going to be a little bit of presence in towards the ramp, and NQZ is being very patient about it.
I'll tell you what though, Ted, only a single flash remaining for Fluxo for the post plant. So they can't really take any aggressive maneuvers. Take your corners and wait. MIBR now with 5 looking to take charge. NQC reading.
Is he ready?
Close angle. That's incredible. Do you expect another? Galorys now having to reveal himself, and NQZ gets a second shot across the line. This is problematic if you're Fluxo, running out of players and running out of them quickly. Molly backside, I think Kai's the first confrontation, reveals himself and headshot lands. Important pick. What's next though? As MIBR looking to close in from multiple angles. It's NQZ that is able to pick up an AK and have a great job with it, closing out on all different positions. The defuse comes underway and the round win does as well. Double digits by halftime, a complete blowout coming through from MIBR. And we're back, folks, and Fluxo have got a mountainous task on their hands, coming back from a 2-10 scenario. Stake bringing you this tournament, everybody. But will Fluxo bring on a comeback on their own map pick? Questionable.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. That's exactly what MIBR have turned Fluxo into, a medium rare steak. Just how they like it. They've really been devouring them. Now moving into the CT side, Fluxo need 2 out of 2 pistol rounds just to try and make this one somewhat more respectful. Molly towards the top of hut. Might be a vent drop. Eyes on the outside players though. They've already made their way. It's a very similar pistol to what we saw in the first half. Might actually be the same.
That's very speedy coming through from MIBR. They're looking for the first shots. And Sunny's jumping up and down, trying to avoid his opponent from shooting him, allowing the rest of his teammates to do the work. venomzera.
Careful now.
Shooting Kai very rapidly off the server, but you're out exposed, and Exit uses momentum to his advantage. And now it's Fluxo ahead. Never mind, blinking and miss it. Insani's leveled the field.
Bomb still dropped in towards the ramp though. They gotta get past the Davideos. He's going up the vent.
And Burnson is there, ready for him as well. Exit, all that remains.
How is he being left alone? He did so much work. Now needs to find both these kills. Low HP on Insani, dual Berettas in hand. Double pink's gonna come through. Dink on the second player. They're both so low. Tapping away, 1 bullet. It's what Exit needs, and he's gonna be able to get it. Is the IGL, 1 HP to spare, and Exit's on fire.
You could say that again, but it's gonna need a bit of extra dynamite to help his team make it there. But hey, lead by example, you know, that's what he's trying to do, and he's getting it done already from the first round of the half. Boy, what a sequence. Drive-by as well on our screens against venomzera. The resilience against the 2 players coming up against him. He had the perfect gun for this scenario. Guns, might I add, it's 2.
Yeah, it is. Well, it might be 4 of them, depending on how much he goes to the gym. Yeah.
Fair. Don't know why it took so long to register.
No, I didn't think that should have been a slow burner. It's fine.
I guess that's where my brain's at the moment.
Hey, Pop.
Obviously having the drop though, and Insani able to catch due to that fact that Miguel there with his collections, although it does run out of bullets, which means he will fall in the process. Never the matter though. As Fluxo able to capitalize on their early successes in the half, 4 on the board.
Yeah, that was a good defense. It's important to show MIBR that they're not just going to be able to get away with that type of a pop go out of spawn, right? Make them work for it at least. Another reminder to go and check out Lord Gar Ready to Play. Got a platform as well. Cool design for PCs. A lot of other stuff as well. I mean, the PCs are top notch, but there's some other stuff.
Sure. I looked at that PC and I'm getting kind of jealous, right? I've had mine for a few years. I think it's due for an upgrade. Yeah, this is swift from Fluxo. MIBR not making their intentions obscure. Really showing out their plan. Come on, man. Bring out the Zeus.
Come on. Come on.
Loser? Oh. Well, we love the effort. A for effort.
Nah, it's an F for me. Sorry.
F?
Yeah.
Sure. But in all the Counter-Strike, S tier also exists, and that would have been if he did end up with the Zeus kill. All right, time to see what MIBR have on the buying chops on the aggressing side.
Davideus has warmed up into this game, by the way. He's already 13 and 13. He's started gathering up those multi-kills, and he's the most dangerous man on this lineup, I feel like, right? If you're looking at the straight-up firepower, obviously you've got Zevi with the AWP, but Davideus is the pure aimer, the best pure aimer on the team. One of the best maybe on the server, right? He's probably the only one that can go toe-to-toe with someone like Insani. But as you said, MIBR, they've been made to work for it. A lot of mollies, a lot of utility in towards that A bomb site. Triple molly to begin with.
Alright, so quite a bit. Davideus having a higher line of fire does help out, but LNZ goes berserk. 2 picks to the good. I'm not quite sure whose flashes they were, but they must have done wondrous work.
I mean, you say 2 picks to the good. It's 4 picks to the good in the matter of 1 second for MIBR. 2 of them going out of LNZ, but it was such a quick, fast-paced round. It's such a cool one by design as well. Triple molly in towards A, flashes coming, a smoke in towards Mini. You make Fluxo throw a lot of their util, give away their positions, think that this was just a fake, and then you go on a little bit later with that second wave of flashes, catching them completely off guard. Regardless of Insani going down, everybody else just gets their piece of the pie. And that's both halves now, Pavlos, that Fluxo have won the pistol, converted with at least 1 round, and that scenario is 2 of them. But then MIBR are still 11-5 up. That tells you enough, by the way. This is in terms of the pure Counter-Strike, in terms of the buy rounds. Probably what could have been a 13-0 as well, if we have to be honest. Fluxo have picked into the map, won both the pistols, and they still have just 5 rounds to show. This is it's a little bit disheartening. If you're Fluxo going into the game, you're at least hoping to make MIBR work for it on that CT side, or, well, from their perspective on the D side, get a little bit warmer going into that second map of competition. Try and get the individuals unlocked before Inferno comes around. That's more like it.
But does it last? That's the big question. Another front opened up by Mountain, and now another created by Kai. Well, Fluxo, giving themselves a great opportunity here. Do you back out though? No, look at them all exploring. All in very different positions. MIBR could potentially exploit.
Do they realize? Alright, they do. Exit was aware.
LNZ though now needs to put a flank on the flank. It's NQZ to find the mark. This round, closer than it seems. NQZ, LNZ, holding hands in the process. I've got a minute to toy with. If you're NQZ, you could be falling in the hands of Zevi, and it's just been avoided by deciding to take the higher ground.
The thing is, the moment that you walk out of heaven and you don't see anyone out A, you're going to realize they've pushed lobby, right? And as of right now, you've got Davideus actually holding for this from the vent. He's kind of peeking it on a bit of a timing. Yuto coming in, smoke. In for the cross, molly in towards Hut. Another one in towards the back of the bomb site. Flash in. Davideus is still down on the bomb site, though. He can stop that bomb from going down.
At least there's a trade coming through from NQZ, so he's able to trade it out, but still won't be too hard, especially with the molly consuming the site. Running the time, looking to see if he can isolate Kai. And his opponent does realize It's best to walk out of there. Zelly's had all the time in the world to rotate over. Hang on a bit. No time to plant. And with that, Fluxo will not reveal themselves. What a close round. NQZ not wanting to die.
At least he's able to stay alive. There was a bit of a chance for a fight there. That was a little bit shaky. A lot of utility they had for these final couple of seconds on the T side, right? So you see the Molotovs, you see the smoke in towards the left-hand side of heaven. It's a very good one. Allows you to go out and clear the bomb side a little bit more methodically. Don't have to worry about the angle in towards the left side of Mustang. Don't have to worry about the CT vent. How about your legs being spotted from main? Fluxo still getting the round on the board. They win one more. That's reset for the T-side economy. So there's a chance they get up to 7, maybe even 8 rounds very rapidly. Could still be an entertaining map of Counter-Strike if they keep it going.
Yeah, that's where the buffer that MIBR created on the first half becomes important, though. More fights. One by LNZ. Sorry, Zebi. Isn't coming through from Insani.
The city should be aware that they've left the gap, right? Even though Exit was trying to kind of look for it and he might think no one's crossed, now he spotted the shadow. They should know there could be a player that sneaked in towards heaven.
I think LTZ did take a gander towards heaven. And that's exactly why he was ready for Insani's push. Losing out of Lego pieces, but now they need to build up on something smaller. 2v3, but NQZ struggling with health. venomzera needs to be thrown in as well, but he's also struggling on that HE department. venomzera, though, quickly finding this shot, makes this a 2v2. And LTZ struggling to
go down the vent.
Does he aggress? They do indeed fall below. And with a B-site taken over, maybe there's a chance now on the 1v2.
He's gonna get the bomb plant.
Fast play, though. Do you really want to take the chance? Davideus could get isolated if he's not careful. Everyone's low. Every single one of them. They do expect him falling further back, but oh boy. One goes to the left of the silo, the other to the right. So therefore, round one by Fluxo. Cutthroat by the end.
It's just the fact that you hear them going down the vent and you decide to drop straight away, right? It's a bit of a gamble that you're taking, because if you drop down the vent behind them and one of them turns around and watches, you're a dead man, and then MIBR in a very good position to run away with the round. Is the initiative that you're taking. Good work coming out of LTZ as well. Zebi getting that collab, just the 1 kill, but the damage as well. venomzera putting in a very good shift. venomzera was actually holding for it. That was the ladder kill. So that's a little bit unlucky for venomzera. His opponent stepping down, able to get that mid-air accuracy. Well, not mid-air, but mid-ladder accuracy, which we know is a bit tough. A tactical timeout coming out of Letny. Going to be interesting to see what direction MIBR want to take with this one. We've seen a lot of fast plays out of spawn, but not a lot of mid-rounding, late-rounding. That was probably the first time MIBR were allowed to play the longer round. Feels like they've got very dynamic openers, trying to get one player in a position that could basically win them the round by itself.
Game has changed, Ted. This was by far an MIBR show at the first half, but Fluxo, like you alluded to, they've grown into the game, especially Davideus. The rest of the squad's slowly rallying up around him. What they needed. Much more comfortable now on the CT side, easier to call. And now that that economy is building, simpler to maintain. MIBR, however, they are just 2 rounds away from closing this one out. Sure, Fluxo have put them under a difficult economical spot, but there's always that looming danger of MIBR getting the upset somewhere here or there. Could slip away. But it's become competitive, and Fluxo needed this. If you want to be a competitor in the series, you need comebacks like this.
Double hero AK. Sani and NQZ going to be taking care of these. Nice nade. Actually doesn't do any damage, even though it just exploded right next to him. It was a bit of a visual illusion. In a round like this, it's all about the damage as well, even if you don't end up winning it. Early smokes deployed. NQZ might get an opportunity. Yeah, decides to back off. You don't really need to force the issue through the Molotov in a round like this. You know the money's going to be a little bit lower on the T side. Careful with that A defense, though.
I think maybe I'm trying to push past the smoke before it even settled outside. And Zeki had a chance to get a shot through, but didn't quite connect.
Oh, no.
Doesn't matter. Yes, it will. venomzera shutting down LTZ's life with a deagle connecting to the head. A-site is where they're trying to take over, and it's the weakest of the lot for Fluxo. This will be awkward.
Did they even go for this?
On the floor.
They're very low on money. They should know that was a half buy for the T side, but they might have to call it off. You've got an AWP that's on 19 HP on the retake. Yeah, they need to save.
And that's how quickly things get out of control. This is why MIBR's advantage at the first half was so damn important. Sure, Fluxo able to get things back a little bit, but 1 second with your eye off the ball, that's when MIBR pounce.
They just get put between a rock and a hard place with a situation like this. You leave a gap open in towards the A-bomb side. This is exactly what Fluxo were trying to do so many times in the first half, by the way. Drag that attention in towards outside and then catch these A players as they're in transition. Off guard. Get these kills. Find a way into the bomb site. Make the CTs a little bit discombobulated. That's exactly what happened to Fluxo. venomzera with a couple nice shots out of the D as well. 14 and 7. For venomzera, 19 and 6 for NQZ. They've been dictating the show. Fluxo with one last final tactical timeout. One last opportunity to try and bring this one back. In case you're just joining in, this is the map pick of Fluxo. It's the first map of the qualifier. First map of this series as well. We've got an Inferno coming up, courtesy of MIBR later on. And then if it goes to 3 maps, it's going to be a Mirage. This is just the first best of 3 of a best of 3 long day. LP taking on Bounty Hunters in the next one. And then we've got BESTIA Imperial to round it out. So there's a lot of Counter-Strike to be played. MIBR making quick work so far of the first map. 5 chances to close it.
So careful not to make a mistake, but you also want to be catching your opponents off guard. Overzealous steps just to from Hut. Outside smoke settled. Alluding to the idea that there could be a potential cross, but also vision into Galorys. This first shot to land. Exit also very comfortable. The hold down mouse 1 for Insanity. Might be unlocking 2 players, 1 minute to spare.
It's finally looking a little bit more comfortable, isn't it? Get the 2 clean openings. Exit and Zebi looking for an answer in towards the ramp. Good work coming out of Kai. Shot out of the Oper. NQZ needs to get that refract, needs to go for the re-swing, but it's Kai to stand tall, so it's 5 alive for Fluxo. That's 1, 4 more to go.
That's huge. It's massive. They were lacking the confidence a little bit, Fluxo, right? You don't want to be destabilized after MIBR get off a round like the one previous, but the timeout working wonders. 3 out of 3. Where Fluxo are able to bring something back. And sure, yeah, the odds are against MIBR, but there's no doubt in our minds that Fluxo are competitors in the series. And 2 rounds consecutive to taking things to overtime, not far from a reality. LTZ, Davideus, both finding picks. And MIBR having to double back from their initial decision.
They were thinking about running through that hut smoke and trying to get the refract onto the player towards the back of the bomb site. Decided to slow things down. Kai should be ready for something like this.
They slow things down. Look at Exit as well.
The volley.
Over to the back. Oh, from Kai. And the refocus onto LNZ to close out the triple. Oh boy, what a hat trick.
Oh, that's such a play out of Kai. With a double kill in the previous round, triple kill here. Spray transfer onto the second guy was magnetic. What a moment for Kai to step up. Young boy going huge in round number 21. Fluxo 3 rounds away now from making this one an overtime affair. Suddenly doesn't look that far-fetched.
Not far-fetched at all. MIBR starting to feel the struggle. LNZ off the serve already. They're being picked apart, plucked off the face of the earth. Complete 180. What MIBR got us accustomed to in the very beginning.
It's a bit of a humbling experience for them as well, right? Because they've done that a couple of times where they smoke towards hell. They have the mini smoke and the first smoke for, I guess, between blue and red outside. And then they want to go out and pick up the fights against the CTs, right? But the last couple of times they've tried it, they've been getting farmed. Might be time for a second tactical timeout coming out of MIBR. Might be time for another call off of spawn. Try and pick up the pace, hit the A-bomb side once again, try something quicker and towards outside, or at least drag some attention and then hit another area of the map. One thing's for sure, they need a plan B because things are not really working out. And that should have been a much cleaner finish as far as MIBR are concerned.
I was looking to walk out of C. No! Stabby Dales instead. Right through Squeaky, surprise. And MIBR once again on the back foot. Hard for them to gain the first confrontative lead.
Yeah, he's going for more. LNC seems to know though, he's gonna molly him out of position. There's no smoke coming in. LNC gets the refract. Yeah, because he's dropped exit in the meantime.
So 2 different fronts, success found for MIBR simultaneously. How is it used to their advantage? Secret cross coming their way with LTZ waiting. He's alone. No help. Well, LNZ on the other hand for MIBR trying to keep Fluxo players busy. If Kai gets a double here would be huge. Instead, completely trampled over, punched down. And with that, MIBR can quickly get that bomb into the ground.
That's not going to be an easy retake. AWP on it. LTZ low on HP. Can't go down the vent. Barrel spotted. NQZ drops him. It's just 1 kill away. And Zevi, there's nothing you can do about it.
Full focus onto him. He's able to find the one, but just too many bodies around to handle. MIBR. The gap they created at the very beginning proved to be important and allowed them to get a 13-10 victory by the end on their opponent's map pick.
Yeah, that was a great performance, especially in the first half for the side of MIBR. We did see them, and there's no questions about it. You look at a lot of the other teams, and I guess lineups like Imperial, Fluxo, BESTIA, they are very dangerous. Maybe some of the other ones as well, but MIBR want to be up there and arguing with teams like Pain, like Legacy, like 9Z, even at times maybe with Fury in South America. So I feel like for these guys, it is quite obvious that they need to not only win, but win in an assertive way, and that's exactly what we did get to see in the first half of that nuke. With that being said, we're ready to dive right into the action here on Inferno. Shout out Stake one time, as they are one of the companies that are standing behind us for this entire tournament. For a lot of the other ones, we love them.
What?
Very chill guys.
We love you too, Ted. I'm pretty sure they love you as well.
Aw.
How can they not love you?
Well, I can list you a bunch of reasons. Oh, we also love you from production as well. That's so nice.
Aww. Cute.
It's all love and positive vibes.
I feel like at some point we need to have production
and a lot of
ad-libbing in the actual broadcast.
Sure.
I feel like it'd be very, very funny.
I'm on board.
Something to look in for the future events. venomzera, though, is the one to draw blood first. High in close proximity, Dooley's in hand. Very dangerous, facing up against many, but venomzera keeps that spree going. Boy, he doesn't miss. Oh, Howdy. Brawls out the, the pistol. Tips his hat. It's high noon all of a sudden. And his opponent's full splat. Done deal.
First best round of the series for MIBR. In case you're just joining in, regardless of LNZ and Cole being able to run away with Nuke, they did end up dropping both pistols, right? So that was a bit of a handicap that they were working with, especially on the T side. It ended up growing into a bigger pain than what it should have been. They finally get one over the line, and it's venomzera with another triple kill.
No Pain isn't playing in this tournament, Ted.
I told you we were going with the no pain, no gain, but yeah, they're not playing here. Sadly. I do love the Pain boys. Very positive. Very cool. Unfortunately, won't be at the main event as well. We already have the list almost finalized. We've got Vitality, Fury, and Navi, and Aurora alongside Mouse claiming these direct invites. Well, Aurora actually made it through the European Closed Qualifier, same as Magic. Vitality, Fury, and Navi, and Mouse were the ones that got the invites, and obviously we've got the South American Closed Qualifier, and then we've got the North American Closed Qualifier as well, which is going to be starting, I believe, later today.
Yeah, I think in about what, an hour or two? A couple of hours?
It was more like 5 hours. Yeah.
5 hours?
North American time zones, yeah.
Bit of this, bit of that. It's all about the Americas the next few days. And look, only one spot from North America as well, just like South America. Europe was able to send a couple of teams through the closed qualies. Which makes this very difficult for the teams competing.
All right, what are we working with here? We've got two smokes already expanded from the CT side. One in towards the apartments, the other one was in towards the top of Banana. They're holding a pretty defensive, pretty passive stance in towards both bomb sites, playing a standard 3-2. Still a little bit of Uto, right? LTZ and Zevi both have one more smoke each, and Zevi's in towards that A-bomb site, so depending on the timing, depending on when he deploys that, might be right in front of him on the bomb site to try and create some space. This could actually be a little bit more impactful. Looking like an A wrap out of the T's.
Might get deleted. Although this is looking like a decent setup for Fluxo. I imagine that they'll be success. Couple of things. LNZ makes it easier for Fluxo to get a pick, I guess.
Yeah, you could even see the face of LNZ. It was a big smile on there.
Whoops. Mistake. My bad.
There you go, your triple kill in the pistol around venomzera. Chill for a bit. Relax, don't get too fired up. And LNZ's been looking sharp individually. He looked pretty decent on that previous map. Had a couple of moments where the first bullet accuracy looked very nice. Starting things off well on Inferno as well. Holding on to the AKs is, of course, important as they did decide to go for that quad AK investment. So not losing too much. Exit and LTZ holding on to the MP9s for the next round. Might try and get up close and personal down Banana. And towards the apartments, down middle. There's a whole lot of possibilities for them. But it's just going to be a half buy coming out of Fluxo. So MIBR with a pretty big statement at the start of this Inferno. Controlling the pace, controlling the money game from the very beginning.
Shout out to Lorga as well. PC provider for StarSeries. Our website's on the screen. Get anything you'd like.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say it out loud. They've got a lot of cool products. Obviously, the PCs. They do have racing cockpits as well, which I find very cool.
Yeah, I feel like you're going to live your racing career. I feel like you've got some. I can think of the Greek word, not quite the English one, but you know, some dreams that never actualized.
Unfulfilled dreams.
Unfulfilled dreams.
Yeah.
You ever wanted to be a race car driver, Ted?
I used to play a lot of F1 when I was younger. Yeah, and I loved karting.
Okay.
So, yeah, maybe. I'd say my biggest dream was to have a long blonde hair. Unfortunately, that didn't come to fruition.
Hey, there's hair transplant. Don't know about the blonde part though. I don't think that would suit you.
No, that's not an option anymore. You know, maybe a short blonde hair, run the Slim Shady.
Do you wear wigs?
Oh no.
Will you wear wigs?
Right. Well, they've got a 4-man stack in towards A, so this could be a little bit terrifying here, Pablos, especially with the opening kill coming out of the D. Oh god.
Another one. But not another one after that.
Hold on.
Still though, a lot of damage has been done for Exa to try and capitalize upon it. Either way though, MIBR with the numbers, Kai could potentially pick up a gun.
It's good damage already. If Kai is able to get at least one more kill, or even as you pointed out, get his hands on a gun, this is already a very good eco round out of the CT side.
I think he'll try and use that gun to take over the round itself.
Doesn't lose anything. Oh, you can hold on to the AK.
Yeah, fair. I mean, that's a decent call. Kalashnikov for the next.
It's a very good eco round, right? Nice shots coming out of the DEK of Davideos. It was quite close to actually becoming a little bit scrappier if Exit is able to get another kill out of that MP9 towards the back of the bomb site, so it's not too bad of an ordeal for Fluxo, all things considered. NQZ and LNZ. Making their way out. There's a lot of Zs at the end of the nicknames. Oh, they both go down to the bomb explosion.
Isn't that supposed to be much harder to do now with the indicator?
Now, it does really depend on how many walls there are between you and the bomb, right? And how thick they are. Check this out. Great stuff coming out of Davideos, but yeah, with both these players going down to the bomb, this is actually an excellent eco round out of Fluxo. They get all 5 kills. AK salvaged as well.
LNC limited to the Galil. Sure. AWPs per side. Seeing Zebi on that duty. We might be seeing a head-to-head of those two from the very beginning.
That's quick.
He's very aggressive with that victory. And he will use his aggression to his advantage. Zevi, no more. And MIBR looking to capitalize upon that space. Aggression shown once again. This time it's venomzera leading the charge, and Kai didn't believe his eyes. Didn't even have a moment to blink, seeing his opponent so quickly. And now one site player left. Davideos all by himself, and he gets surrounded by T's. This one's over.
This is so sharp. venomzera is an absolute monster, man. I find it so cool to just watch this guy play. He's one of these players that just know how to, I guess, hold their crosshair, where to hold it. He's just so instant. Crosshair placement is immaculate. Reactions are even better.
I thought you were going to say he knows how to hold this mouse. I'm like,
I think he does.
He does. He knows how to grip that mouse damn well.
I wonder what grip he uses. There's always differences, you know? You can have your entire hand on it. You can have
for the sake of... this is actually a serious, well, semi-serious conversation here, Ted, but I wonder if you could put sensors on a mouse and measure the grip a player puts on the mouse itself.
Oh, you mean the force.
And
okay, I more so meant the way that they hold the mouse, you know?
I mean, you can see that visually, but I don't think you can measure that nicely. I think that depends very much on the mouse itself as well. But the force you put from each... you know, from each finger onto the mouse, and how big of an effect that has on the gameplay, and
Pablos,
and how that also has to do with stress levels. I feel like we've got a research paper to make here, Ted.
Pablos, I'm a sucker for these details usually, but I think you're going down a wormhole.
You're probably right.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit too much.
YouTube video incoming.
Sure. Which pro player holds the mouse with the most amount of strength out there?
No, I think it's got more to... Look, I think players that try to min-max their potential in games will find interest in some stats here.
Yeah. No, don't pay attention to all of that, folks. Don't overthink it. Just play the game and enjoy it. It's a video game at the end of the day. Don't mind this. Yeah, if you're unable to get level 10 on Face It, it's not because you're holding too tight to your mouse. Let's just put it that way.
I'm talking about the highest echelon of play here. Ted? 0.001%. Even more than that. So, into the action. No action. Maybe just a hint of it over on B. Just a single rifle available to Fluxo, and it bears fruit. One pick to the good, and it's in Zevi's hands.
Yeah, but now they've seen the open towards B, right? So they can try and avoid it. Another smoking towards the B bomb side. You want to keep them on their toes.
Yeah. That's scary. And this is also very scary too.
Bomb dropped.
venomzera does end up falling. But this is smart from MIBR, creating a bit of a look that LTZ is able to read. LNZ returns the favor, but this has gotten very, very close.
They know where the Oper was.
Now holds a rifle. This is no longer a teetered game.
And they know he should have rotated through CT spawn as well, right? LTZ was in towards the right-hand side, so they should have the information necessary, but the bomb still dropped. There's 25 seconds. Utility available. They can smoke off at least one of these positions.
Ooh. So the molly goes towards the one end and smoke on the other. Bomb collected, but you still need to gap close. 15 seconds moving in. Zevi hoisted in and will react on time. That was a double scope. I felt like he was very, very close to that, but no, instead it's a double zoom. 5 seconds. This is done.
Oh.
Ring around the rosy game from LTZ. Wins the round for his team. Fluxo, off the back of Zevi's brilliant on the AWP, are able to collect a round.
Yeah, that was a little bit terrifying for a second. The moment that venomzera gets that double kill in towards A, I thought the round was over, but then LTZ is able to get the kill into the 5-7, upgrade himself onto an AK, and NQZ didn't want to swing through the smoke, didn't want to risk it, waited for the rifle instead. There's the good read out of LTZ. Very good angle held in towards the boiler, and it was all about the timing. Zevi winning some more time with that shot as well. Didn't allow Linus to get an opportunity to bomb plant regardless of getting the kill. So there goes Fluxo with one round on the board. Can they make it 2 in a row?
But not too much damage coming off the back of it. LTZ playing aggressive. Right down through the smoke, paired up with the flash from Kai. Gives Fluxo yet again the advantage. Back to the drawing board for MIBR. Looking to overpower this A site. As soon as the smoke fades, we'll push through. Look at Fluxo's reaction to this. 4 players over to this A site already. A clear idea of what their opponents are going for.
I'm still thinking about going back. The majority of their players still went towards that A bomb side, but LNZ is not seeing anything. That might be a bit of a B split, actually. Bomb might hightail it back in towards Banana, send 2 players down CT spawn. That would not be the worst, however. Great flash.
Brilliant. And Kai's able to capitalize off of the low play, spraying through the smoke to pick up the pieces. Still, though, 2v3 for MIBR, and the bomb is tailgating in LNZ's direction.
You've got a 2v2 on the B bomb side, but you need a very clean entry, and you're still waiting for this smoke to fade out.
And you don't have any flashes either to permit a favorable push.
It can go for a full-on exec, though. Smoke CT, smoke ruins. You've got Molotovs as well.
The Molly lands in the right position. LNZ finds the headshot, and now we have equalized the numbers. Kai not making that the theme. I'm thinking about pushing past the smoke as well. IKZ! He just walks past the bullets, sidesteps them. Miraculously staying afloat. We're now having to deal with 2, but both coming through. Banana not expected by NQZ. Therefore, Fluxo are able to avert the crisis.
Can I be the one to say they're a little bit lucky that they get the kill through the smoke? Because that was a straight-up 2v3 with a potential bomb plant as well. Player in towards CT spawn spamming, so they knew exactly where he was. That was a great flash out of Zevi, though. Setting up exit for the damage. Kai finishing things off through the smoke. That's the kill that we were talking about. Kai with a double-double through smokes in this round. Fluxo now with 2 on the board. Money's gonna start slowly running out for the T's. This should be the last buy that they have. And it's already a little bit low on money. Some compromises being taken. An SMG for both NQZ and LNZ is going to be the MP7s that they're rocking. All right.
Vibing underground. Maybe I've set up a bit of a rave, but it's a quiet one.
Reckon that was the motive behind creating Gangsters in Paradise. Well, it's not gangsters. It's a gangster's paradise. I'm sorry, uncultured.
LTZ, brilliant flash coming through from exit once again. Somehow landing a second headshot onto Insani. Puts an end to potentially this push. A fast play. Exit. Not only great on the flashes, but delivering with frags as well. Huge performance from the IGL. And LNZ, the opposition captain, sees a gruesome end to his life.
All right, now there's a little bit of life being sprung into that game out of Fluxo. You win 3 in a row, money's done for the T side, so they're down to the pistols. You're starting to win some of these rounds cleanly as well. Money's racking up. Kai on 4,750, Zevi on 4,900. The rest are still trying to build up the cash, but this is going to be a good opportunity. You're up against a couple of Deagles. A Tech 9 from Burnzan. LNZ on the pit 250. And they've got one smoke to work with. Now, the main question here is, how many kills can you get with a purchase like this? It's not about winning the round, it's about making it expensive.
I mean, you can't count them out even in rounds like this, to be honest, but Fluxo have been clean. And with limited utility, yeah, you're right, it's hard. Damages. The outlook. Okay. Holy moly, venomzera.
He's alive, and that's an AWP. No.
Venom's on fire. Someone stop him or else he'll blow up the place. This is crazy. LTZ joins in for a double, so he's kept this competitive, but Venom being alive is the most important thing. Now upgrading to an AK, dealing with the 2 arriving from Banana. Full information for MIBR.
Oh,
There's
still
pace
there.
with this. Fluxo
going to get smoked off.
Oh boy, venomzera no more, and you're right, Insani no longer having access through Spawn, having to move in to Ruins. Dales realizes of his opponent's position, but Insani missing that shot is devastating. Kai crouching forwards to save the day for Fluxo. Boy, Fluxo got dangerously close to dropping that one. venomzera was on a tear.
He's terrifying. Some of these shots are so crazy. Look at that. He's just not giving them an opportunity. It's like he's playing a pre-fire map. Great recovery coming out of Kai and Davideus, but it still goes too close for comfort. We're tied up, 4 apiece, money. Actually quite leveled up for the CT side after losing 3 players in the previous round. They still have a decent amount. Another reinvestment in the bank. What's the plan here for MIBR? No, it's not really been easy for them to dominate in towards the banana, right? Insani a couple of times has just started the round by getting deleted. But getting a lot of success there. They've dodged the damage. There's the late retake. And there's a little bit of pace behind this. They might be going all in.
A little bit rough around the edges, but the job is done here for MIBR. B-site access, numbers advantage. The first time we've seen this in a while.
That's a save. No real reason to go for this, regardless of the lack of a smoke for CT spawn for the T side. It's going to be such a tough retake. The Vides has not even moved from A. There goes the smoke now for LNZ. That's just going to give them a way out. And you can instantly see the reaction coming out of MIBR, right? The last couple of times when Insani was trying to get that early control in towards Banana, he was getting welcomed by nades, spam through the smoke. He started this game 0-5.
Sure.
Now he's 1-6, but it's the difference in the approach, right? The way that they allowed the CTs to take that Banana control later on. They got accustomed to the fact that Exit and LTZ are going to be using a lot of their util early on, so you let them run out of HEs, incendiaries, mollies, whatever they have. And then later on, you retake top Banana, you keep pushing. Flashes were excellent. Set up Insani for the first kill. venomzera gets the refrag. Perfectly executed stuff by MIBR.
It's not bad, is it? Yeah, another Fluxo timeout coming in. They've been quite liberal with these timeouts, haven't they? As soon as they need them, throw them out. And look, they worked occasionally. On the most part, I'd say, as well. I mean, you look back on the Nuke game, and I feel like these timeouts may have been a real reason why Fluxo did get back into the game. Pair that up with the switch of the half, but you don't want to allow MIBR running away with a similar lead as of the previous. Everyone having a role to play for the opening in MIBR, right? But it feels like the most successful ones is where venomzera is able to chain a few together.
Nice nade. A little bit deeper this time around. Now you know they're going to be retaking Banana later on. Those are the little details. That small chunk of utility damage might make a difference later on. Makes the M4s a little bit more potent. One bullet through the skull guarantees the kill from here on out on LNC. They've been given a lot of freedom on the T side, right? No presence from the CTs in towards Banana. They've given away brackets as well. Eventually, if you're Fluxo, you're going to have to retake something. Or you're just hoping that your players hold on and stand tall on the defense from the back of the side.
So first blood though. And Exit's able to keep it going. This B site has already been deemed...
Oh, eyes on A.
A place they don't really want to be following up on. Zen. How much more can you get done? You've got reinforcements arriving now, but Davidale's got a very interesting high angle available to him. And Kai also revealed over in library. Neither of them, however, having an impact. This is mad. Burnerson gets 3 out of thin air.
How does he get both these kills? I mean, they're still gonna... Are they even gonna go for this retake? You cannot afford to. You're running out of money. You have to call it off. That's such a wild round to win for MIBR.
That's
a straight up 3 versus 5. You try and go B. The whole idea of this round was we're gonna execute B. Burnson's gonna be the one cutting off rotations, right? But then you get completely shut down by the AWP and the AKF exiting towards B. And you're thinking, well, this round is done. And then Burnson out of thin air creates a possibility. Creates an opportunity and wins them the round. It was the patience as well. You get the first kill, you wait it out, hold in towards the brackets, wait for your teammates to get closer. And then as you've gotten the support, you can start pressing forward. Look at some of these shots. Zevi, exit, shutting down the B play, and then it's Burnson, the Burnson show.
He really didn't give much margin for Fluxo.
Ah, beautiful.
Find up against that. I've never played Counter-Strike Source, by the way.
You never tried it?
I've tried it maybe, but never like properly played it.
No, me neither. But I guess it depends on where you're coming from, right? For a lot of people, it was 1 point,
right?
Yeah, for a lot of people, it was 1.6 and then directly into Go, right?
Yeah. I mean, 1.6 was brutal on USB. He used to put it on the PC school. On the PCs at school. We didn't have a local LAN.
Oh god. He knows his angles, knows his peaks. Shout out Steak as well. You got the $35 bonus, as you saw on the screen, so make sure you click the banner below the stream and check it out. venomzera making himself very difficult to hit. On a micro level, this guy is hyper skilled. You can just tell.
MIBR. The numbers indicate an A hit here. It's not too bad of a setup for Fluxo, considering they've got 3 out of the 5 defenders here. She could prove to be damaging, and indeed it does chip away at the attacking force of Zevi. Lines up a first shot with the AWP, and now MIBR have got an idea of what the setup looks like. Bernazon, nice first entry, but they need a little bit extra. They're starting to bump their heads into walls and not getting much outcomes from it. What just happened? Bernazon, out of thin air, once again saves the round for MIBR, but job's not done, and 2 more are left for Fluxo.
Bomb's gonna get planted. Diffuse kid on exit. He's going in towards long. Needs to wait for the wraparound in towards the apartments from LTZ.
That's the best position for Bernazon he could possibly be in. It's going to be a market drop. He's covered. It cannot be said by LNC, but does it matter?
He can just hide.
Time's
running out.
And indeed, Bernazon can just sit idle and wait.
No time. Gotta get on the bomb.
I mean, not ideal bomb placement here for Bernazon, but still enough of a gap, I'd say, that reveals exit to distract him off of the bomb, at least for a mere moment. And as you alluded to, barely any time in it. MIBR on the winning seat once again.
These rounds are going to start weighting Fluxo down big time, right? They've not been playing a bad CT side whatsoever, but you already lost the 3 versus 5, and now you've lost the 2v4 to LNC and Bernazon. The impact out of some of these players in the mid to late rounds out of MIBR is just the individuals bailing them out. It's impossible to ignore. They're not dominating the rounds the same way that they were doing it on the first half of Nuke, but they're still winning them. You get an 8-4 half out of this, you're going to be very happy with yourselves.
First blood for Bernazon. He's really stepped into carry shoes this game, but isn't able to see this round to the very end. And venomzera now in charge to leading the team, but LNZ having to get dropped by Zevi. He makes this round a little bit more complicated. A side is treacherous. Bomb now, ready over on B. The distraction has paid off. NQZ running into B.
That's very doable. Doesn't have a smoke. He's got the bomb on his back though. AWP in hand. NQZ's gonna get plenty of time to get this bomb planted. And both CTs coming in from different directions. That might provide him with an opportunity.
Yeah. He's playing through Cathedral, which will make this one a bit tough. Potentially be lurking around and spawn, and indeed finds him. Now a one-on-one needed. Long distance versus short distance. Oh, the MP9. The smoke the 2 out from the shadows exit, able to get there on time, and Kit being available gets that one across the board. Close game in our hands as Fluxo close it out with 5. MIBR have got a lot more to do to close out on 2. Now, this is much more like it in terms of a closer game, very much similar to how Nuke ended, but Everything can be decided in one half if MIBR have got what it takes to close it all out themselves, or Fluxo can force out Mirage.
All right, pistol rounds have been going well so far for Fluxo, all I know. 2-1 in their favor since the start. You've got 2 rounds the difference, and in reality, Fluxo probably should have won that first half, considering they're down 5-7. They lost a 2v4 and a 4v2 from their perspective, and a 5v3. Now on the T side, looking to get that momentum up. A bit of a 4-man setup in towards A to begin with. The side of MIBR, LNZ left all alone to jump spot in towards B. He doesn't have a smoke. Usually you'd see that solo player with a little bit of util to try and delay further. He's got nothing. Just himself. And his trustworthy USP.
With a yellow sausage dangling off of the end of it. He's noted out the push coming through his end. And in the meantime, the rest of MIBR are pushing out through mid, so it's a clear indication of what the plan is. Look at all the information, but it's not a fast push from Fluxo, meaning they could get caught by surprise. And indeed, that's exactly what happens. Insanity with the first kill, and now the pursuit is on as MIBR have the slight advantage. Exit reveals himself from the corner. Enough of the destruction, Daki dares to jump in as well, but it is a bloodbath. LTZ, one man standing for Fluxo. As MIBR look to regroup here, kit to be collected, and the clutch to continue.
You've got to smoke kits as well. LNZ needs to play first here. He's the one on low HP without armor.
You can hear them approaching. But how much can be done? Smoke.
Oh.
And kit defusal.
He's got it.
It looks like that's what they're going to go for. Knife will end up landing for a swing, but not enough for the kill. Eventually it will be, but not in time. Therefore, pistol round going to the MIBR.
Yeah, he gets that knife kill straight up AK purchase out of LTZ. This is a little bit unfortunate, but NQZ was not interested in even finding out where his opponent was. There's the replay, the fast push, NQZ throwing all that impact in. A triple kill, the ninja defuse. If he stays alive, he could have had an AWP going into the next. Now, you're probably going to be working with just the M4, but the force buy coming through from the T side. This is where you need to try and stay close. Can't afford to let MIBR open up a larger distance. Get into a serious lead. They win this one. It's going to be 4, maybe 5 with the anti-eco coming up in the next. And from that point on, it could be a swift 2-0 for MIBR. You win the forest buy though, if you're Fluxo, and the story changes. Then we could be having all sorts of different conversations. Hero AK for LTZ. Triple pistol. A decent amount of util as well, by the way. Kai's got that Galil as well, but even he has a smoke. So you're working with 5 smokes. So this is not just the plan to retake Banana and take that B bomb side. They have thought about the post plant as well, if the entries are successful.
So, Insanity's no more.
They have no more util on the CT side. At least on B.
venomzera is all the util you need, to be fair. At least in firepower. Smoke heading towards Venom. And he walks right past it. Flash through though, and you need to be cautious. Shallow waters, and that's why LNZ gets caught. Venom able to find damage onto one, a pick onto another, but site takeoff is successful for Fluxo. This round is done.
All right. All of this comes down to the impact out of the hero AK, right? And this is when you can go back to the pistol round and say, this knife kill actually makes a whole lot of a difference, right? This is the reason LTZ had enough money to go for the full util with the AK, the armor. He's able to open things up. Shut down Insani, who, in all realness, has had a nightmare of a time in towards Banana since the start of this map. T side was very difficult for him to get going. CT side, he just gets deleted against that forest buy straight away. And he's that type of a player that, for example, used to be a kinder for VP back in CSGO, right? On Banana. You get rid of him, you're gonna have a very easy time if you're on the opposing side of things. And as of right now, Insani's 2-4 in opening kills. Now it's going to be 2-5 after this one.
Shout out to Lorga, by the way. Official supporter of StarSeries. Check out their website. A lot to offer in the gaming world. I feel like a lot of this series has been decided on force buys such as this. Exits nade finding its place near Insani. It's giving Fluxo an early advantage, but a potential breakaway in Banana, which inevitably MIBR get away from. I think he doesn't really have any support if he gets confronted here. Walks away. Look at the push being created as well in the back lines, Bunnerson. All the way around the world. They create a flank, but this is fast moving from Fluxo. This flash is dangerous. Exit as well. Keeping things going.
Nice.
Oh, he's delivering once again. And with that, MIBR need to wave the white flag.
I guess you can say for sure that Exit is pretty motivated to play well against his ex-team. Like, he's been performing very well since the start of the series, and Zebi's gonna make sure that Burnzan is no more. So there's one round the difference now. No money for the CT side. Fluxo have turned this one around. And in case you're just joining in, this is not their map pick, right? They already lost their map pick of Nuke. Inferno was supposed to be a little bit of a cleaner sweep for MIBR, especially with the 8-4 lead at halftime. Or 7-5, sorry, but they converted the pistol. Could have had a 10-5 lead to start us off, but it was just an 8-7, potentially an 8-8 leveled up, and Exit is 14-8. He's been playing some excellent Counter-Strike. Map winner odds by stake, still favoring MIBR, but they might start leveling up slowly but surely. They've got the double boost, so it's not impossible they get a kill, especially if the CT smoke into our spawn. That's exactly where the T smoke into our spawn. That's exactly what they'll do.
Yeah, but they're hiking the smoke. Ooh,
there it is.
He gets away with one. The thing is now you can just pre-fire, right? You know exactly what this looks like, but the rest of the USPs appear. No, just damage. Not too much after that. Clean stuff from Fluxo. Square things up entirely. Now they've got an opportunity to be the leaders in the game for the first time on Inferno.
Yeah, I wonder if we're going to see a tactical timeout coming out of MIBR. Maybe not now, because they are well aware of the fact that they just lost an anti-force and then the subsequent round. So it's not like the game plan is not working out when it comes down to the buy rounds. But this is Fluxo getting a little bit closer. Now making a competitive game out of this one. Deep banana smoke provided by venomzera. Support his teammates on B. Is there a flash?
A Fluxo making this a theme. Taking up a lot of banana control, but respect the molly. Space retaken from MIBR though, so first piece of utility not quite paying off for the mid-round.
Yeah, they might have done it a little bit too early, right? They wanted to retake top banana control, but I feel like the main goal was get one kill, secure the space. Because now you've kind of deployed over your util, you cannot really stay there and afford to hold on to top banana. You want to back off. Third player rotating back towards B. AWP of NQZ pushed away. So again, MIBR playing this one in the blind almost. Without a lot of information, but they seem to have made the right call.
It does look like it. Fluxo closing in on this direction.
And LNZ still has util. He can still smoke them off.
Plenty of it.
Guy's got a nade.
The smoke is a short bouquet. Molly coming through it. LNZ spray
what?
finds three. Doesn't even see one of them. Not a single soul spotted by LNZ in that pursuit. spraying them down across the smoke, fully blinded, and that's all that is needed to put MIBR right back in the driver's seat.
To hell with the call. They didn't even need the third guy on B. LNZ just holds mouse one, fully flashed, smoked off, gets a triple kill. They didn't want to break the smoke. They were looking for the element of surprise, trying to swing through. Look at that with the flash. LNZ, they just line up for him. It's so perfect. It's pristine out of the IGL. Round gets guaranteed there and then. A technical timeout. A nice opportunity for us to remind you all that this is just the first series of this entire closed qualifier. This is going to be taking place between today and the 2nd of August. So we're talking about, what is 6 days of Counter-Strike? 6 days of action. We're starting things off with 3 series per day. That's going to be for the first couple of days. Well, the first 2 days, technically, and then we're moving into the double best of 3 a day type of schedule. We've got MIBR and Fluxo opening things up. Later on today, we're going to be watching LP take on Bounty Hunters and then BESTIA versus Imperial.
We've got some solid games today.
Yeah, only one spot left for the StarLadder StarSeries Fall 2026, also known as the StarSeries Season 20, returning after such a long time. You've already got teams like Vitality, Fury, and Na'Vi, Aurora, Mouse, and Magic waiting in the main event. Of course, Aurora and Magic making their way out through the European Closed Qualifier. Vitality, Fury, and Na'Vi, and Mouse receiving those direct invites. $500,000 in prize pool. And the main event happening between the 17th and 20th of September. So there's still a little bit of time up until then. Not too much. Shout out ATK gear as well. Click the banner below the stream. Enter the giveaway.
Mark play from Fluxo. Great offbeat, but the anti-flash from NQC allows Burners in enough time for the trade back, and venomzera not afraid of smokes, pushing right through them. NQZ also yet to be tested, just showing his ground by connecting a shot. Zevi, by the skin of his teeth, enables another frag for his squad, but it matters naught as MIBR on double digits already.
Great support utility coming out of MIBR, and Insani's finally able to get a multi-kill. I feel like this is the last piece that MIBR need in order to take this game over the line, right? You get Insani activated with the brand of Counter-Strike that we've seen out of guys like LNZ, venomzera, Burnzan. It's actually Insani and NQZ that dominated the server on Nuke that have shown a bit of a slower game, a bit of a more quiet game here. Of course, when it comes down to the headshot percentage, Insani's always going to be up there. Zevi's a true oper. 22%. The AWP Classic.
A couple of rounds in a row where MIBR felt pretty confident. Fast play from Fluxo, trying to destabilize MIBR. That hasn't worked.
Yeah, and you could be running out of money on the T side as well, right? You don't win this round, especially if you don't get a bomb plant. You're going to be working with a bunch of upgraded pistols going into the next. That might mean GG. Might find yourself down 12-8. The most important round of the game so far of the entire series for Fluxo. They have started by getting a little bit of map control, both in towards Banana and A. LTZ able to get that opening kill. LNZ holding his ground, actually able to get that rebound kill, courtesy of the Flames.
At least it's that. But Fluxo may need to retake Banana control once again. It's deep placement coming through from LNZ.
They need a lot of util for this. If you just walk in dry against the AWP and the AK, you're just going to get absolutely destroyed. And now they've seen the over, but he's going to keep moving forward. That's such a heads-up play out of NQZ.
It's risky, and LNZ able to distract his opponent long enough for NQZ to drop by again. Throws down a nade, I didn't even notice that one. And HG lobbed into the back end, closes it out with a bow. At the end, it's glorious performance coming out from NQZ. Absolute spectacular.
Makes it look so easy. And he was the reinforcer in towards that B-bomb side as well. The initial defense doesn't stand tall, and he gets mollied in towards the corner, realizes I need to take initiative. I need to support my IGL. Nade combo with the AWP as well. The confidence is all over the server.
He's so good. So
The
good.
aura is immaculate.
That's true.
You didn't like the Gen Z aura thingy?
No, I was thinking about what I could do with wordplay there, but thought better of it. Let that statement stand. Because the aura was indeed immaculate. We do sound like such unks right now. So be it. LNZ. Having the assistance of Insanity nearby is huge. Look at him go. And LNZ feels confident to pressure even more. Going thrown over to the healthiest of the two players remaining. If you're MIBR, you don't really want to overstep, but it's a bit of a statement, right? Running Fluxo down from the very beginning. But nothing to lose in the round, trying to go for something. Single HP onto Davideus, which means he won't be alive for too long, although I think he's the one to land a shot through the wall. Matters not. Runners are getting on the score sheet yet again at the end of this one. And one round required for MIBR to put Fluxo to the lower bracket.
Yeah, it feels like a bit of a breath of fresh air, by the way. The last time MIBR were able to win a series in a 2-0 fashion was stage 1 of the Cologne Major. That was the game against Lin Vision that saw them go through to stage 2, right? Ever since then, they've not actually won a best of 3 in general. A lot of best of 1s being played out at the Major, also at XTC Pro League as well. But it's been a while. Getting that confidence up. Played a good game of Counter-Strike all in all. LTZ trying to keep his team alive. They're ignoring him.
Big nade. And indeed, Insanity get given a clear opportunity to clean up. Sweeping it off their feet. Janitorial duties taken fully seriously. Someone asked for that floor to get mopped up, and indeed, that's exactly what Insanity and MIBR do. 13-8 to close out Inferno, their map pick. And the series goes to their favor. With that, it's Fluxo over to the lower bracket.
What a statement out of MIBR, man. We wanted to see a good game out of these guys, and I think that's